In the range of assessments that as social workers we undertake, we are also adding professional opinion and judgment about capacity of people. And it's in those assessments that we begin to reflect sometimes our own values, prejudices, discriminations. We may not even be aware of them until we make the statement about this person has a dirty home. What does that mean? You can expect your supervisor in your workplace to ask you, what does that mean? And that can mean all sorts of things. Okay. It may mean that my mum has always tidied my bedroom, my mum has always had a cleaner, or it can mean this mum has never been shown how to look after a home at any time.
What we tend to do as professionals is that we tend to work out of judgments that are based upon evidence. But that evidence is not neutral and it's not objective. It in fact relies very strongly on the set of beliefs that inform what it is that we do. Now those beliefs, as I said, are not only individual, they're also constructed by the collective. Some people have described that as the notion of passionate creed. In other words, what we operate out of is this sort of passionate set of beliefs that informs our practice. Teachers, social workers, doctors, for example, are all making moral choices in their profession. And so therefore, it behoves all of us who are in those professions to be able to say, well, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. In other words, if I'm a patient of a doctor and I say to the doctor, well, why are you making those judgments? I expect the doctor to be able to say, well, look, this is what I think, and this is what I believe, this is what the research says, and this is what I think we should do. And I think it's exactly the same with a social worker or a teacher. So, for example, I think that if a parent says to a teacher, well, look, you know, that's not the way that I learnt when I went to school. Why are you doing it this way? Well, I expect the teacher to be able to say, well, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. The only way that we can understand what it is that we believe is to be able to unpack those beliefs. And reflective practice is a way in which we can really do that if we have got someone else to help us do it.
What are the statements that we make, and upon what basis are we backing them up? Where's your evidence to say this is this, or this person is a no good mother, this person is lazy, this child will never amount to much? Those awful, highly judgmental statements. Of course, none of us believe that we ever make them till they're pointed out to us, and at that point you realise, oops, have I actually provided the evidence for it? As a social worker, when you're gathering information in order to put into an assessment, your training on the job in an agency is about on what basis are you making that assessment. If you're saying this person is not capable of being a foster carer, you have to have some pretty good reasons why, don't you? Or this mum should not have her child restored to her care. Or this father can't visit the children in their home for these reasons. So you do need to be able to evidence the judgments that you make and be aware of where they come from based on information, knowledge, but also what are the judgments I've made and where do they come from in terms of my own biases.